Very good day, guys. Welcome back. I am your host, Dr. Sachin Yadav. So, how are all you doing? I think you are all doing well wherever you are present now. So, today in this series of the 3D video, we are going to learn about the cricoid cartilage. So, in my hand, you can see this is the cricoid cartilage. So, you see how it is articulating with the thyroid cartilage. Okay, fine. So, we will see what is this. So, it is attached below to the trachea, means it is continuing with the trachea below and articulating with the thyroid cartilage as I have shown you, and also articulates with the two arytenoid cartilages by the sinual joints. So this is basically, you can see it is ring like structure. So this is the only laryngeal cartilage which is complete circle, and this is smaller, but it is thicker and stronger than other cartilages or than the thyroid cartilage. So you can see it is having the narrower anterior arch, that is known as the cricoid arch, and broader posterior flat part, that is known as the lamina. So we will see what is the cricoid arch. So this is narrower from the above downward, and it gets slightly wider when it turns towards the lamina posteriorly. So there is the attachment of the cricothyroid muscle on its external aspect, outer aspect, in the front and the side, and the cricopharyngeus muscles, which is the part of the inferior constrictor of the pharynx. It is also attached to the cricoid cartilage behind the cricothyroid muscle. So this arch you can palpate below the laryngeal prominence in the surface anatomy. Okay, and these two parts means thyroid lamina and anterior discoid arch, both are separated by a depression which is having the cricothyroid membrane. So here you can see the inferior border of the cartilage, which is nearly horizontal. So it is circular in outline, almost circular. Then we can see here the broader posterior cricoid lamina. So it is almost quadrilateral in outline. So it is having the vertical dimension of around 2 to 3 centimeter on average. So it bears a posterior median vertical ridge. Okay. So when you will see the real specimen of the cricoid cartilage, so here you will see the vertical ridge. So this is due to this vertical ridge. On each side of the ridge there is a concavity on either side. So when the esophageal muscles, okay, the outer longitudinal layer of the esophageal muscle, which is posterior to that, so their fascicula, the two fascicula of these muscles are arising from this vertical ridge of the lamina, and also the posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. So this is attached to the shallow depression on either side of the ridge. Okay, which muscle? The posterior cricoarytenoid muscle. Very good. Then there is the circular sinual facet, which is facing the posterolaterally. Sometimes mark the junction of the lamina and the arch, and this is the site for the articulation with the inferior cornea of the thyroid cartilage. And the inferior border of the cricoid is horizontal, and it is joined to the first tracheal cartilage by the cricotracheal ligament. What is that? That is known as the cricotracheal ligament. And here you can see the superior border. It is obliquely going up and back, and this is giving attachment to the thick median part of the cricothyroid membrane anteriorly and laterally to the membranous part of the cricothyroid membrane and lateral cricoarytenoid muscle. Got it? And posterior superiorly here on the aspect of the lamina, there is a shallow median notch on its side, which is smooth oval convex facet. So it is directed upward and lateral for the articulation with the base of the arytenoid cartilage, the paired arytenoid cartilages. And here on the internal surface of the cricoid cartilage, we can see it is smooth as compared to the other parts, and it is lined by the mucous membrane. So in the applied aspect of this related to the cricoid cartilage, there is a case known as the subglottic stenosis. Stenosis means narrowing of any abnormal narrowing of any lumen or tube. So congenital malformation of this cartilage, cricoid cartilage, it can result into the severe narrowing of the subglottic air passage, leading to the respiratory obstruction, means difficulty in breathing. Okay, and in severe case, it may be present from birth even. And there are also cases of the acquired subglottic stenosis, which may result from trauma or scar found after the prolonged endotracheal intubation. Okay, so these cases should be corrected and on the basis of the emergency. Okay, so this was about the cricoid cartilage. So guys, so I hope you have understood it well all. So we'll stop here. Then next part of the larynx will take. We'll meet in the talk about it that in the next video. So till now, so thanks for your listening and the patience. So we'll meet again with the new videos like this. Till then, thank you very much. Goodbye.